All right, everybody. Welcome to Frightmare HQ.
What?
Hey, what's
Hi,
up?
Lloyd.
There's Charles. Hi, Charles.
It's me.
How are you
Hi,
doing,
Lloyd.
sir?
How are you?
Well, I'm trying to see if this is live yet.
Nah, we don't need to be live. We can just talk to each other. What are you doing, baby?
What are you doing, Barbara?
Drinking my bottle of wine. I got these awesome coasters from one of our viewers, Kolchak.
Oh,
Sent me
yeah?
some James Bond coasters. Look at these James Bond coasters. Dude.
That is wicked.
I know, they're awesome. There's like a variety of evil logos, and I'm like, these fit my
Bond
wine
coasters.
perfectly.
Oh, boom. There it is. We are live.
Oh.
Oh, boy. Oh, watch out, everybody.
Yo.
We're live. We're live.
Oh, God, we're dirty. The penis way.
All right, everybody.
Penisploitation.com.
I just wanted to make sure we were actually live because, you know, we get tricked sometimes by El Diablo over here at Frightmare
I get the
HQ.
shit tricked out of me.
Yeah, we do all the
trick a
time.
lot.
So you know what? I want to
What?
see who's on with us right now, Charles.
People are on?
People are
You
on.
told me it was just going to be you and me today. You promised.
Well, we have to have an audience. I like to have an audience.
Dang. All right, that's fine.
Should have known, you fucking info bitch.
I know.
That's right. So let's see. Todd Lewis and Todd Lewis are watching.
Both Todd Lewis's?
Both, yeah. Stephen Burt.
Man, you know, Bert makes it hurt a lot.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting
Woo!
for that.
I've never been the same.
Ali Tappa, Travis Brown.
That's downtown Travis Brown, so everybody knows.
We got
That's T. Brown.
We got Patrick LaGrave or LaGrave.
La
not really
Grave. La Grave.
Jeanette Nolan.
Nolan
David.
is always swollen. I don't know.
Get ready for this one. David Dugas.
David Dugas is here, everybody. Hello, my name is David Dugas. Would you like to have a sip of my very expensive Udo Kier pressed wine? Yes.
He would love that. Eduardo Gonzalez. Did I mention Jeanette Nolan?
Yeah, you said Jeanette Nolan makes it swollen, whatever that means.
Whoa. Chrissy Gilliland.
Gilliland. What rhymes with Gilliland?
Band.
She's up
Gilliland
in the,
is in
up
the
in
band.
The hill land.
Gilliland
band.
in a band on the hill land. So anyway, bunch of people joining us now.
right.
Those are just the ones that are commenting. So
But David
Yes.
Dugas is here, though.
Dugas. He
Hello,
is here.
everybody.
Well,
Dugas
welcome
is
to
here.
everyone that is here. We are
Man.
so excited to see you tonight. And one of the reasons we're excited is because we're starting a brand new decade.
Oh, man. It's the 2000s.
It is the 2000s.
very weird.
So what
It's very
happens when
weird.
we catch up? So we can do 2000 to 2010, and then 11, whatever, 10, the next decade, 10 to 20. But when we catch up, then what do we do?
I think instead of going 10 to 20, we're going to go 60 to 70. That's what's going to happen next.
Okay, so
We're gonna throw it back.
we're gonna when we zig, then we zag. Mm-hmm. So nobody knows which way we're going.
And then after that, 1930s. I think we're gonna go. I'm gonna wear a top hat and I have a top hat and a suit every show for that one, 1930 style.
Well, there you go, Charles. I was just gonna say I'm concerned about your drinking.
You did this to me.
You
All right.
got a whole bottle of wine, bro. I don't know, man.
What's the point of getting a glass? Because then I have to wash the glass, and I'm gonna drink the whole damn bottle anyway. So what's the point of a glass?
Well, there is some
No?
reason there. I see where.
I mean, that's
see
just
what
more
you're trying
dishes
to
I gotta
say.
wash. Do I look like somebody who likes to wash dishes? No.
Todd Jara just joined us, and Richard Nettleton, and Hani.
Oh, Hani. Hani's
Hani.
our Hani. Hani. That's our newest acquirement. We've acquired Hani.
We've acquired Hani, and we'll have more news about that pretty soon. But we appreciate Hani for joining us. We do have some stuff coming up, but
We do.
For now. Are you going to do a giveaway this show?
Hell yeah.
Okay, what are you giving away? Let's go ahead and tease that.
God, I gotta go get something. Hold on.
Okay.
I got a bunch. Pick a number between 1 and 4. That's what I'm gonna grab here.
1 and 4, 3.
What's 1 plus 4?
1 plus 4?
Yeah.
MOON.
Yeah.
1 plus 4 is MOON.
That spells Lloyd Cry.
That spells moon. All
I
right.
got a Hammer Films double feature of the Gorgon and the Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll.
Boom. That will be
I'm
coming
doing it.
up after the honorable mentions. Right, Charles?
Where do I put it? Where do I put it? Yeah.
Where do you put
You
it?
know where these fit in? It fits really good in this VHS rewinder. Boom, look at that. Fits perfect.
I can't see it. That's okay. We don't have to
I know.
see it.
Right here.
Oh.
Can you see it now?
Now I can see it, Charles. Well, no.
Look.
Not, I can't. I can see it, but the viewers can't. Bring it up towards your chest.
That's as far as it goes. It's plugged in.
Okay.
Here. How about now?
There it
Can you see
is. Man, all of that work for that.
I know. There. You can
Boom.
also see a pile. There's a pile of about 512 VHS tapes over there too.
Oh, yeah?
So, you want to buy some VHS tapes,
512.
Lloyd?
You know what? You can never have enough VHS tapes. You know who said that?
Lloyd Cryer.
Charles Doze. Charles Doze said that.
If anybody is wondering, I now have 26. Count them. 26 copies of Halloween on VHS.
And
I
he's
don't know
got
why.
VHS carrying cases. So just in case you
I
need
do.
to carry like 24 VHS tapes somewhere, Charles has a
Sometimes you have
solution
to.
for that.
I do. They're
You're-
plastic
Was
collapsible
there
bags.
just an earthquake at your house because your camera moved everywhere?
I'm just fat, man.
Man, I feel like I screwed up your whole shot, man. Sorry, Charles.
I don't care. It's back now, isn't it?
It's back. So let's get started. Let's
No.
do this. I'm ready to jump right into. Wait a minute. The one that I have oh, it says 1998, but this is actually 2000. Is that right?
Dude, I don't want to update the tabs, dude. What do you think this is?
Dude, you don't have
fancy?
to. You don't have to. I
Fancy
just got
bougie?
real confused. I was like, "Uh-oh, I have the wrong list."
Are you getting fancy on me like David Dugas?
Not at all. Not at all. But it's okay that David Dugas is fancy. We're fine with that. We're just going to say it.
He's very fancy.
So number 1 on our list. I'm going to do this one.
You're gonna do it.
While Sydney and her friends visit the Hollywood set of Stab 3, the third film based on the Woodsboro murders, another Ghostface killer rises to terrorize them. Released
You like
February 4th,
scary
2000. It's the American slasher film Scream 3, directed by a Wes Craven.
Oh my God! Scream 3, almost getting to space now. We're on 3.
We're going to have
yeah.
Scream in space.
Heck yeah, that's gonna be the final one. In space, no one can hear you scream.
We need an echo
Dun,
for
dun,
when you say
dun.
that. Scream, scream,
Scream.
All right, so there's the poster, Scream 3. Next, what's next, Charles? I'm just kidding. Scream. It's undeniable the impact that
You're undeniable.
that Scream had on pop culture as it stands today.
Yeah. You know, Scream 3 was the first in the series that wasn't written by Kevin Williamson. It was written by a different guy. Aaron Kruger was actually a pretty good writer. He hadn't done much before this, but he did write a movie in '99 called Arlington Road that I really like. It's a great movie. After this, he did the adaptions of The Ring and Skeleton Key. So those are pretty good. But Scream 3 had a lot of trouble, I guess, being made because it was in production and then had to stop being in production due to the fallout from Columbine in late '99.
Oh yeah.
And the studio was really on them about violence in the movies because, you know, according to The World, Columbine was caused by movies and music, apparently. Ooh, no, it wasn't.
And video games.
But there was a lot and video games, yeah, and there was a lot of scrutiny on this to the point where at one point the studio was trying to get Wes Craven to make this movie without any blood in it whatsoever. So it just shows you what they were trying to do. But
yeah,
Bear's huge fans of Scream, and I appreciate everybody's love of Scream. You know, I feel like Scream 3 was, you know, it didn't bring much to the series. It was the same formula, just toned down a little bit. And it just felt like a rehash of like, we did this. What are we going to do now? We're going to do it again. Hell yeah. Let's do it. All right. I'm excited. That's what I got.
That's what you got. I don't know. I don't even remember much about Scream 3. I'll be honest. It was just kind of not my generation, you know. And, I mean, I really like the first one, but the sequels, I don't even remember a lot about either one of them. The dude in the mask running around killing people. I get it.
Yeah, and I rewatched this a couple weeks back because this is streaming on HBO Max. For everybody who has HBO Max, so I went back and watched this because I literally had not seen Scream 3 since it came out in 2000. I saw it in the theaters. And I remember not being too impressed, but I actually went back and watched it because I knew we were going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I still wasn't that impressed. I mean, it's like, it's not a bad film. It's just like, all right, I've seen this. And it's got Lance Hendrickson's in it. So that's a plus.
Well, that was kind of my deal is it just, you know, it just seemed like all the others. So wasn't that impressed.
Yeah, it's hard to impress you, Lloyd. You know, I've been trying, but...
But you know I'm a big slasher fan. So, you know, I really like the first and how creative it was.
Oh,
but
slasher.
2 or 3.
I thought you told me you were a big stripper fan. That's what I've been getting wrong.
You thought I said stripper?
Yeah, I'm bringing you the wrong movies. I'm sorry.
I need what's that strip tease with Demi Moore? I guess that is sort of a subgenre, isn't it?
You know, I shouldn't have brought you 6 copies of Striptease. I'm sorry. That's my bad. I thought that's what you wanted. Jesus. I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, that's Scream 3, and like I said, I appreciate the fandom for this.
Yeah.
You know, Friday the 13th, I guess, was my generation, and we still went back, and it was the same thing every time, but we loved it, so there you go.
You know, Scream was one of those series that no matter what they brought out, it was profitable. Because I know this one made like $200 million on like a $35 million budget. It didn't really matter what they were going to bring out. The studio knew they were going to make money. So you got to give props to Wes Craven for fighting with them a lot on this one because they really wanted this to be like a PG-13 movie, like bad.
Yeah. Well, too bad. So sad. It didn't turn out that way. But we did have other movies this year. And the next one is yours.
The next one. Next one's a fantastic movie. And, all right, so this one. A teacher visits the house of one of his students after the boy goes missing, only to find a horrifying excuse for his absence from school. This was released direct-to-video in Japan, February 11th, 2000. It's a Japanese supernatural horror film called Ju-on the Curse, directed by Takashi Shimizu. This is the first installment in the Ju-on franchise, and this is not The Grudge, so don't call this The Grudge. This is 2 movies before The Grudge. This is the very first one, but very similar to The Grudge.
Right.
Very similar.
So we do have a trailer for this, or a clip. So,
a clip, yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check that out.
Cool. So what's fun about this movie is it's a little difficult, but not difficult to find because it's categorized kind of weird. So the one thing that's really interesting about this movie is it was shot on video. So that means it was shot on VHS. It's shot on a VHS camcorder. This movie was.
No way.
Yeah, yeah, it was shot on video. Very low budget.
I didn't know that.
This was a direct-to-video Japanese film. And direct-to-video in Japan, they had their own terminology for it. What did they call it? V-cinema is what they called it. V Cinema was their direct-to-video. This was direct-to-video, and it was made on no money. I mean, this was probably made on like 20 grand, if that. And it's surprisingly super fun, but low-budget movie. It's creepy as hell.
So, the original, this is Ju-on, which means The Grudge?
This is Ju-on the Curse.
The Curse. And so the Ju-on the Grudge came later, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, Ju-on means, I think it translates to curse or grudge curse or something like that. Grudge curse.
Okay.
Is the literal translation. But this is the first in that Ju-on franchise. There was the Curse, and then there was the Curse 2. Then there was the Grudge, and then there was the Grudge 2. And then the Grudge, which got remade in the U.S., is kind of like a combination of the Curse and the Grudge in the Japanese cinema.
Okay,
gotcha. The movie that we had. And that's been remade here, what, twice now? Because the newest Grudge came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie is creepy.
It is super creepy. Yeah.
This is a good example of solid Japanese horror because this doesn't rely on jump scares or anything. This relies on really strange scenes that just slowly become weirder and weirder as you watch them, and you're like,
it's like that creeping dread, you know.
You're like, what's happening? And then, you know, it's a great movie. Now, it can be deceptively hard to find because if you try to look for Ju-on the Curse, you'll actually pull up information for it, but it'll just say not available anywhere. You have to look under just Ju-on. So under Ju-on, Amazon actually has it for rent and to purchase on a DVD quality. They have it mislabeled as 2005 release, even though it was a 2000 release. I don't know why. Because I actually bought it on there to make sure it was the right one because I didn't have a copy of this. And it's the right one. It's just labeled wrong. That's the only way to get it on there.
Wow. Well, at least
there's
you can
no
get
Blu-ray.
this one.
Yeah, and it was shot on video, so it's really crappy quality. And there's no Blu-ray. There's no reason for a Blu-ray because being shot on camcorder, there's no way to make this look good.
Right.
There's no way to have this looking good above like DVD-ish quality. So, it's just one I wish would be an actual disc release. If you want a physical disc, you can order an import one. It's region free, and I think Amazon actually sells it, but I'm pretty sure there's a bootleg. So,
yeah,
like most of them.
Well, this is we kind of got into this with the last episode with Ringu. Yeah, we started going through this, but this is during the time that J-horror was getting huge.
Yeah, Meredith Allen asks, what did we think of the Sarah Michelle Gellar version?
Not much.
It was a big thing. You know, The Grudge, the American remake came out in 2004, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more when we hit 2004, but it was if you don't know about the existence of the others, it probably seemed good. But I went into that one knowing about the others and already had seen them. So it kind of felt like a whitewashed version of what it should be. That's kind of what it felt like.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a good movie. I think this is one.
What you got?
No, I'm talking about you. The one you just said, Ju-on the Curse. This is a good movie, and
it's really good. It's really good, actually.
People should check this one out.
You know, it's probably one of the best shot on video movies there ever was. There's a whole legion of people who love what's called SOV movies, and those are shot on video horror movies. Made a lot in the 80s and 90s. Most of them are not good because it was a guy with his camcorder he bought at Best Buy making a movie. This one actually has some quality to it for being shot on video. So
wow, I'm gonna have to look into that. I had no idea that it was shot on video. That's crazy.
Yeah, this was an SOV movie. It was beyond low budget. But when you see shot on video, that's like the next level of low budget cinema.
Right.
It's like going deep. That's like the Walmart value brand of low budget cinema. So.
Definitely. All right. Well, number 3 on our list tonight is one that I'm glad I ended up getting the roulette wheel on because
Yeah, man.
I like this movie, and I think, well, I know you like it too. But I think that we're a part of a small group of people that actually like this movie. Or maybe just not enough people know about it. I don't know.
I think it's the latter because yeah. Go ahead and do it. I like this one though.
Okay. After years of being tread upon and cheated on, a man awakens to find his face has been replaced by a blank white mask. Released in Canada February 13th, 2000, it's the French horror thriller film Bruiser, written and directed by our all-time favorite director, George A. Romero.
The man.
Charles, this is a movie that it was hard to find when it first came out. I remember I ordered this from overseas somewhere and bought it on a region locked disc, and that's how I first saw it. But I think it was great, and I think it was almost probably one of the more perfect projects for Romero to sink his teeth into. There's a lot of social commentary in this movie, a lot.
Yeah, I think it was really good, and actually, I mean, I think Bruiser was one of Romero's best films since he did Day of the Dead. It really was but this was a long time in between. We hadn't seen Romero a lot, and unfortunately, this is the time period where Hollywood was just shitting on Romero, so he was having to get these projects funneled through overseas investors, this is why this one is a technically a French film because it was produced by a French company to get it made,
Yeah. Well, everything that I said before is definitely how I feel about this movie, that it is such a perfect project for him. I don't know how it came about. I don't know, much about this project other than the finished project. But I got to tell you, the social commentary is on point in this movie. And it's kind of like, it's almost like it's got a little bit of an American Psycho twinge to it. Don't you think?
A little twinge.
A little twinge to it.
A little twinge. Yeah, I don't know much about the history of this film either. I know it was written by Romero, and I know it was if memory serves me correct, it's a movie that he sort of had already written many years before and was kind of polishing it and working on it after he had brought out the Dark Half, because the Dark Half was like the last time he wanted to work with Hollywood because there's a lot of problems with Dark Half. And yeah, that's kind of where this came. And it's a super well-made movie. It's unique and it's very underrated. Super underrated.
Very underrated. A lot of great acting in this movie.
Oh, Peter Stormare's in this, who I love. He's a great actor. And Tom Atkins is in this too.
Yep, he sure is. But I'm seeing a few people that have said they haven't even heard of it. And I hope that we convince you to go out and watch this movie, because how easy is it to get? I know you made some notes on here. Not streaming.
There's a DVD you can buy. The DVD is readily available on Amazon. Not streaming. Unfortunately, never released on Blu-ray. There's no plans to release this on Blu-ray. And I really, really wish they would release this on Blu-ray. This would look fantastic if they would release this on Blu-ray. Romero shot this on 35 millimeter film, and which means that if there ever was a Blu-ray release, it would look beautiful. So,
yep.
Hopefully somewhere down the road. Allie says she's seen it and she had Romero sign her Bruiser DVD. That's awesome.
Baby Blue TX23 says, I'm sad to admit I haven't seen it or heard of it either. Well, good. That's what we're here for. We're
Don't
glad.
Be sad.
Yeah. That's
what we're here for. Bring these movies back out. And like Lloyd said, this is one that a lot of people haven't seen. It's kind of one of those, and I think it relates to kind of what Lloyd had said about when it came out. It wasn't released in the U.S. except for video. There was no domestic theatrical release of this, and I don't believe there was even a VHS release this time. It was released by Lionsgate on DVD in the late 2001, very limited, and then it was pretty much gone. Like there was no way to get it, and people forgot about it. And that's what sucked.
Yeah, yeah. I know Walmart for a while there was selling like a double feature. Didn't they have like Land of the Dead and Bruiser or something?
Yeah. Sorry, I always talking about Peter Stormare. I love him too. Peter Stormare is he's one of my favorite actors. He's always been one of my favorite actors, and I would love to meet him sometime. He is always insane. I remember
I gotta
seeing
look.
him.
I'm gonna look him up so I can remember.
You'll know his face when you see him.
Stormare.
Peter Stormare. He's in Fargo. He's the other guy with Steve Buscemi in Fargo.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Got it. Yeah.
He's also
cool.
plays Satan in Constantine, and I love him in Armageddon. He's the best part of Armageddon. That movie.
God,
This is how we fix stuff on Russian space station. Now they go home. Okay. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I love that. I'm sorry, I love that guy.
He's Swedish.
So great. Yeah.
Cool,
I remember he
man.
was in American Gods. He's on American Gods too. This is great.
Yeah. Well, Baby Blue TX said she is Cynthia. Okay. Hey, Cynthia. What's up?
What's up, Cynthia?
I know who this is. So,
Travis said he's gonna wait on Bruiser until they can release it on Blu-ray. You're gonna be waiting a long time, Travis. You're probably gonna be waiting until you're about 45 or 50. Travis is young. It's not. I got a feeling that one is. We probably got a good decade before we see that on Blu-ray.
yeah, bummer.
Yeah.
So we covered it. It's not streaming, never released on Blu-ray, DVD $9.99 on Amazon, or you could probably get it, at a used DVD store or something for a couple bucks. But there you go, right?
Sorry, I was just laughing at Travis. Armageddon quotes. No, I have not seen the Star Wars. Okay, not seen it. Sorry. Yeah, great movie though. Really recommend. Picking up the DVD for $10, it's totally worth. It's totally worth a buy. And if you're not a disc person, you can get this on digital too. I think it's the same thing. It's like $10 and Vudu has it. So
there you go. And it's worth it. This one has some rewatchability in my opinion, so you'll get your money's worth out of it. All right, Charles.
Ooh.
Let's go to the next one.
This
one is fun.
This is a fun movie.
It is.
A commercial transport ship and its crew are marooned on a planet full of bloodthirsty creatures that only come out to feast at night. They mostly come out at night, Lloyd.
It's called Feast.
It's called Aliens because they mostly come out at night. This was released February 18th, 2000. It is the American sci-fi action horror kaboom bam Dominic Toretto film called Pitch Black, co-written and directed by David Twohy. Oh yeah!
I love this movie. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie.
Dude,
Pitch
I'm there
Black
with you.
is a super fun movie, and good Lord, what has become of what's his name? The main guy in the movie. What's his? I can't remember his name now.
Are you drunk, Cole Hauser? You talking about Cole Hauser or
No,
Vin Diesel or
Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel?
Yeah, Vin Diesel.
He's the Diesel man.
He's the Diesel man.
He's the Diesel man. He gets paid $600 million to go. His family. Oh, Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious. That's right.
Oh, too fast, too furious. Vin Diesel.
Well, while
That's my Vin Diesel impression.
while this movie wasn't, what am I trying to say here? It wasn't, it felt like a throwback, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't anything original, but somehow it was original and fresh.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you there. It's definitely it gives you that throwback feel, like you're saying. This feels like something that could have been made in the 1950s. Something they could have made with people in plastic suits or something. But
Right.
It's so well done, and I love this movie too. And I'll tell you, the Arrow Video brought this out on 4K, and it's absolutely beautiful. That 4K release is.
Awesome. I've got a copy. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
It's because you like to watch, Lloyd.
I like to watch. But this is a fun movie, a lot of action. You got creature feature, monsters, all kinds of stuff. So you just turned green again, dude.
Dude, I'm not. That's you, man.
I swear it's not on my end.
Why do you keep turning me green?
Got to be something on your end. There it is. It's over now.
I have no idea why it's doing it. I don't have anything on my end but a camera. Pitch Black was originally, it'd been written for a while. The original people who wrote this were Ken and Jim Wheat. And Ken and Jim Wheat were, they worked on Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Fly 2, lots of horror sequels. And they developed a script called Nightfall. And Nightfall became Pitch Black. But originally Nightfall, it was a little bit too similar to Alien. So it had to be changed around a little bit. It was rewritten by David Twohy. And, kind of was this. And, they didn't... it had a pretty big budget, $25 million, but not huge for the time. Vin Diesel wasn't known when they made this. Of course, he got real big afterwards.
Yep.
But...
Radha Mitchell was in this, too.
Yeah.
Keith David, frequent Frightmare fave.
Yeah, and it wasn't planned to be a franchise at all. There's been 2 sequels to this, and it wasn't planned for that. It was just the overwhelming love for the character of Riddick and the world that they created. So,
well, I got to ask everybody out there that's watching. I've never seen those 2 sequels. Do you recommend that I watch them or not? I want to know. Never seen them.
Shh, I'll tell you about them.
What is your vote, Charles? Tell me.
What happened? Talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that they're actually fun.
Okay.
Chronicles of Riddick is not very well liked by critics, but people who liked Pitch Black liked Chronicles of Riddick. Chronicles of Riddick is very far out there. It is no way horror. It is 100% sci-fi, and they go super sci-fi in that movie.
That's what I was going to say. What I have seen of it seemed super sci-fi, and it didn't really appeal to me. I like some sci-fi. I like a lot of sci-fi actually, but there's some that just seem to go overboard.
Yeah. But they're all pretty good. And the last one, Riddick, I actually liked a lot more. All 3 of these were directed by David Twohy, so he made all these movies. So they all feel connected. They all feel good. I would say if you haven't seen them, I would watch them. I like them. I think they're fun movies.
Okay, cool. Meredith Allen says
it's not Pitch Black.
They're both
What's Meredith
fun.
saying?
She said they're both fun. One is more sci-fi. One is more horror.
Heck yeah. Definitely, Riddick is a little more horror. A little more horror than one made in 2013, Riddick. I definitely agree with Meredith. Me and Meredith are on the wavelength.
And Allie Tappa says, I think all movies suck a camel's booty hole equally, law. Is she talking about all of these movies? Okay, well, thanks, Allie. Thanks for...
Look, if anybody knows about sucking a camel's booty hole, it's me. All right?
That is you.
We'll talk about that on the OnlyFans Frightmare HQ page, so you can see more about that. So, for a nominal fee.
Yeah, at Charles's OnlyFans. And the next movie is...
Hey, only person on my OnlyFans is Travis, so I got to get more.
There you go. Right? Next movie, Alex Browning
what do you got?
Is among a group of high school students readying themselves
Goddamn,
for
Alex.
a trip to Europe when he suddenly has a premonition. Their airplane will
God.
crash. He screams to warn the others, but instead he is thrown off of the plane.
They
threw him off the plane. Released March 17th, 2000. It is the American supernatural horror film Final Destination, directed by
Is it the final
James
one?
Wong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Thank you. So, Final Destination. This is a good, fun movie. And you know what? I like all of these movies. I like they're kind of I don't know. They get kind of cheesier as they go, but I've always.
I mean,
loved
what
them.
are we on now? 29?
I don't know. I just love that they brought back a movie that its sole purpose was to show in graphic detail as many ways for people to die as possible in the series.
Yeah, you know, the guy who wrote this originally wrote this to be an X-Files episode.
I thought I had heard that before.
Yeah, but most of the cast and crew that worked on this were from the X-Files anyway. So, you know, it kind of worked out for him. He wrote the screenplay, they expanded on the screenplay, and then it got picked up by New Line to turn it into a movie. They hired James Wong to direct it. And James Wong is basically like one of 4 people that pretty much made every episode of X-Files. So, right director for it, you know?
Well, I like it because the kills were gory and explicit and bloody. And there's some pretty iconic scenes. You know, everybody now thinks of Final Destination when they see the truck in front of them loaded down with timber.
Oh, yeah, that was the second one, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's a great scene. Oh, yeah, Chrissy just mentioned that. Truck with the logs. I remember that one. I actually like these movies, too. I got to be honest with you guys. I have only seen 1, 2, and 3. I have not seen the ones after 3. So, should I watch the ones after 3? If anybody's seen the ones after 3, let me know if I should watch them. Or not.
One good thing we can say is Tony Todd is in these.
I'll watch Tony Todd in anything.
Exactly.
Tony Todd could do a toilet paper commercial, and I'd be like, "Yep, that was good.
Yeah, I need a sequel.
That was really good. I need a sequel. I need toilet paper 2-ply in space."
I just think these movies are super fun. The one in 3D, you know, I'm a 3D fan. It's so much more enjoyable if you watch it in 3D.
Lloyd, you like everything in 3D. You watch Schindler's List in 3D, and I told you that wasn't okay.
3D makes everything better.
You're like, Charles, you're gonna come over and see Schindler's List in 3D, and I'm like, no.
It's amazing. No, I don't want to watch that again. I cry every time, Lloyd. He begs me not to make him watch it. So anyway,
you make all the weird sound effects during a lot of the scenes that make no sense. You're like, here come the Nazis. I'm like, stop, Lloyd.
What? I think that might have been the Jerry Lewis lost clown in concentration camp movie that you're talking about.
Isn't that finally coming out? I hope so.
It will soon. Didn't he die recently?
Yeah, once you die, everything comes out.
Yeah, it's going to be out. But anyway, Final Destination is a fun series, and I think it's accessible to everybody. You know, it's something that kids will start out watching, and it's kind of a gateway horror movie.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it. It's what it's supposed to be. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the score in the first one. The score was done by Shirley Walker. She passed away like 15 years ago, but she was one of the few female film score composers working in Hollywood. She passed away in 2005 or 6, but great score in that one. Yeah, I mean, the cast was good. I've always wondered why they didn't bring Devon Sawa back for any of the sequels. I've heard it's something with a salary dispute they had or something. So who knows? People like money, apparently. I like money.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but looks like Blu-ray's $10. It's on Sling TV streaming or $2.99 rental on Apple TV, Amazon, or Vudu.
I want to make a shot-for-shot remake of this on video camera. I'm going to do a VHS shot-for-shot remake of Final Destination. Do all the effects myself. How's that sound?
Do it. Start tomorrow.
I'm going to do it. I'm starting right now. All right? I gotta find my phone. It's on. We're doing it. Sponsored by Apple.
Sweet.
All
right, so Final Destination. Moving on to the next one, which is already
John
somewhat
Denver's
of
full
a
of
classic and a.
Oh God, guys! This next one, I quote this movie every single day of my life, and that's not even a joke. There's not a day in my life that goes by where I don't quote something in this movie. A wealthy New York investment banker hides his alternative psychopathic ego from his coworkers and friends as he delves deeper into his violent, hedonistic fantasies. Released April 14th, 2000, it's the American black comedy slasher film American Psycho, co-written and directed by Mary Herron, based on Bret Easton Ellis's 91 novel of the same name. Jesus.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure there's not a day in my life goes by where I don't go, do you like Huey Lewis in the News?
Yeah.
His early work was a little too new wave for my taste, but Sports came out in 83. Really started coming into their own, both artistically and commercially.
This movie has become a classic. I don't think anybody can deny that.
It's so phenomenal. There's so many great scenes in this. Like, Christian Bale is such a fantastically nuts actor. I don't know who else could have played this guy but him. He's that scene where they're all sitting at around the table looking at each other's business cards. He's getting so mad. My God, it even has a watermark.
Yeah.
He's like,
and it's kind of crazy that Bruiser came out the same year, and it was, I guess, it was just that time period where that was ripe for the picking, so to speak. That topic of corporate America and that kind of a thing.
Yeah, Bret Easton Ellis's book came out in 91, and this was optioned to be a film as early as 92. There was a while when the film rights in this were purchased, and there was interest in Johnny Depp playing Patrick Bateman. And at the time, Johnny Depp was in talks. There was actually David Cronenberg who was attached to direct it. So David Cronenberg was going to direct this movie. There was apparently some clashing between Cronenberg and Ellis, who wrote the book. Like, a lot of stuff in the book Cronenberg didn't want to use, and that made the book author upset. So they ended up having a falling out, and Cronenberg left the project, and that's how Mary Herron got it. So she signed on, and then they found Christian Bale, who was still kind of known, but wasn't like he was after Batman at that time,
I would have liked to have seen a David Cronenberg version of this movie.
David Cronenberg and Johnny Depp. I think that would have worked, actually.
It would have been insane. Yeah, it would have been insane. That's what it would have been.
Crazy. But instead, we've got this. We've got this one, and this is basically the only thing of worth that Mary Herron ever did that I liked. I know she did I Shot Randy Warhol in the late mid-90s, which is an okay movie. And then she did that movie about Betty Page after this. But it's really the only thing she ever kind of did. And I love this movie. You got so many people in this who are so big now, like Jared Leto.
Yep.
This was the same year as Fight Club, I believe, wasn't it? 2000. So that was a big year for him.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I'd have to go back and look.
There's a lot of fun in this, like a lot of the stuff with Christian Bale, like a lot of his goofy dancing and stuff was just made up by him on the spot. Like that scene where he's dancing with like when he has a sledgehammer or whatever, and he's like, or has the axe, he's like, woo!
Yeah.
They're prepared to Elvis Costello. What's going on?
It's great, man. It's a great movie.
I watch this at least 5 times a year. I watch this movie at least. I love this movie.
It's been a while since I've seen it last, but I would love to go back and revisit.
Yeah, it's on 4K now too. There's a 4K.
Oh yeah.
And what's that scene where he's doing like his crunches while watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah.
He's like, like, oh my God, like, this guy's me. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's so out there though. He's so crazy, and they asked Christian Bale, said, where did you get a lot of your like mannerisms and like your emptiness? He said from watching interviews with Tom Cruise.
It all makes sense now.
Because he said watching interviews with Tom Cruise is he seems so overly happy but dead on the inside of his eyes. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, it makes
It makes
sense.
sense.
It makes sense. I could totally see that. Well, I'm not sure what else we can say about American Psycho. It's very popular. Most everybody knows about this. Not like Bruiser, which is on the other end of the scale as American Psycho. But if you like them, I would say if you like American Psycho, then you're gonna like Bruiser as well.
This is Susudio, a personal favorite.
Studio. Oh yeah. All right.
Your name is Christy. You'll answer only as Christy would, okay?
Okay. Yes,
You're
sir.
Christy. Not very blonde, are you? More dirty blondes.
Huh? All right. So
God, let's get off of this subject because it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real bad.
that's
real fast.
right. Well, what we're going to now is something completely different.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Mr. Conway
Sorry,
Twitty. The next one
Sorry.
is something completely different, and
God.
something that I really love this movie. I don't think there's enough of these movies like this. Enough good ones, let's put it that way. So, a year after disposing of the body of a man they accidentally killed, a group of dumb teenagers are stalked by a bumbling serial killer. Released July 7th, 2000, it's the American horror spoof Scary Movie, directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Oh yeah.
I am so glad that we got this one on the list, Charles.
I was not gonna miss this one on the list because this first Scary Movie is fantastic. You know what? The first two Scary Movies are good. After that, they're not
Yes.
good. But the first two are actually really funny.
Yeah. Well, this is really a perfect example of how to make a good horror spoof.
Yeah.
Because there's been several over the years, but there's been some that are really bad.
Most of them are bad. There's a handful of good ones. Repossessed is a good one.
Repossessed is good. I also like
Dracula.
I like
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
I like Student Bodies.
Student Bodies.
And actually, there's a lot of people that wouldn't agree with us on Student Bodies, I don't think.
I actually like Student Bodies.
I do too. But I have a feeling that it's not as good as we think it is. Or the people, there's people that think it's not as good as we think it is.
I think there's a lot of people that think that.
Yeah. But I love Scary Movie, and I think horror movies have always been ripe for spoofing.
You know, you can even call Return of the Living Dead a horror spoof movie because it almost is. You know,
It kind of is, yeah.
Really, it almost is if you think about it.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of some others. There's wasn't there one called
Young Frankenstein.
Pandemonium? Okay, Young Frankenstein's great.
Love at First Bite from the late 70s.
Oh, Love at First Bite. That's a great one.
Once Bitten is a
Once
fun
Bitten with Jim Carrey. Yeah.
one. Silence of the Hams. That's a fun one.
Yeah, I've actually seen that one too. But that's what I was illustrating is that there's more bad ones than good ones, and
There are so many bad ones, but not that many good ones.
I brought up one called "Don't Go Out There." I think a while back. I think that's the name of it. But it was a very early, super low budget, independent spoof of horror films, and it came before Scream, and carried a lot of those tropes that Scream had. You know, breaking the third wall kind of a thing.
Yeah. It's a really fun movie. This is a fun movie, and what made this easy is the fact that this was distributed and it was distributed and put through by Dimension, who owned most of these movies that they were spoofing. So it was really easy to get the rights to it.
That's awesome.
You know, Shawn Wayans actually came up with the idea for this, and he basically and just casually pitched it to the owner of Dimensions Films. It was like, look, take all these movies you've made and we'll just pretty much turn them into a goofball. And they were like, sure, here's some money. And He got his brother to direct it, and they made it fantastic. It really is.
Mr. 80s mentioned one that I forgot. Shriek If You Know What I Did last Friday the 13th. I actually like that one too.
That came out in 2000, I think, didn't it? Or soon after.
Shriek If You Know What I Did? I'm not sure.
That did.
Same
came out
year,
in 2000, because I looked at that and I didn't put it on the list just because it's the same year as Scary Movie.
Yeah. Well, there are some good ones out there, but they're few and far between. And I just think the horror genre has always been a great thing to lampoon and parody. You know, especially if you go back all the way to like Abbott and Costello, Frankenstein and Dracula and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And the guys behind the scary movies, they're super talented. The Wayans brothers are super talented.
Oh my God! Yeah.
They don't get enough credit, especially nowadays. People forget how talented they are. And these guys are awesome. And I think the problem was they pretty much dragged these movies out till they died. Marlon Wayans ended up bringing out Haunted House and all this stuff, and they was just dragged on till nobody cared anymore. Yeah, that was the problem.
Some of them got exceedingly stupid, but I don't know. I can go back and watch some of them and still enjoy them.
The first two scary movies are so good, especially the second one with Tim Curry. It's so hilarious.
The girl Anna Faris, she's the one I always.
Anna Faris, yeah.
She's hilarious in these movies, I think.
There's so many scenes I can't talk about, but God, she's hilarious in this.
We do have a little clip, don't we? Or is it the trailer?
The trailer. We have the trailer for it.
You want to watch it now?
Let's do it.
Okay, here he is.
And I love Carmen Electra spoofing Drew Barrymore. Like she has a banana at one point, doesn't she?
Yeah. And then he's hiding, and she can see his feet.
Where do you know where I am? You're behind the couch.
Hey, how'd you know?
You were right.
This is a funny one. It's great.
It is funny.
Oh, the second one. The second one. Remember with James Woods at the beginning? They're spoofing The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. I wish these were on Amazon Prime so we could have a watch party. I really do.
He gets up.
I ain't going to jail. It's okay. I'm fine.
I'm okay. Nope. I know what you did last Halloween. Oh.
Don't answer the phone.
I'm in the house.
What's up? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can see your feet.
You're behind the couch. Ah, shit.
The press only wants to interview the most ignorant.
There's another TFW guest.
And whatever you do, don't be afraid to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, and then,
God, the Matrix.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Matrix was huge at this time. So, but they managed to throw everything in, that was part of pop culture with this movie, and still made it work. It was still funny. It didn't seem strained.
It didn't seem strained. A couple of fun facts about this is they actually tried to get Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie as Laurie Strode, reprising her character for like a short scene, and she refused to do it.
Yeah.
And also mentioning Jared Leto is like they tried to get Jared Leto in this movie, and he didn't. He turned it down to do American Psycho. So I'm kind of glad he did American Psycho because he's real great in American Psycho. But
yeah,
this is a fun movie. It's really great.
Super fun. Before we go to the next one, I just want to mention my favorite part of Scary Movie 2, which we'll bring this up later. Is
oh yeah, Scary Movie 2 is going to be on the list. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah. But you've got Veronica Cartwright is in that, and James Woods, like we said earlier.
Let me release this demon.
My favorite part is Chris Elliott as Hanson, the butler, with the little. Yeah.
Stuff the shit out of it.
It's good. He starts licking it and then he stirs it. It's so crazy.
Little chicken giblets, then I stuff the shit out of it.
This guy was always on the old David Letterman show, Chris Elliott, and he used to always make me laugh.
You know, it's a great movie he did, Cabin Boy. You ever see Cabin Boy?
Yes, I have seen
great-
Cabin. It's
a
so
great movie.
ridiculous. That whole movie.
The whole movie's so ridiculous, but it's so fantastic.
All right. So let's go ahead and move along. I think you
All right,
have the next
have,
one, and it's.
I
this
have
is
a
good
feeling
one.
we need a whole show for Scary Movie 2. Like, we need a whole show. just to
Yeah,
talk
we
about
should just talk about that. Okay.
Stuff the shit out of it, Lloyd. All right, let's move on. All right. Another one that I absolutely love.
I
Two
do too.
death-obsessed sisters who are outcast in their suburban neighborhood must deal with the tragic consequences when one of them is bitten by a deadly werewolf. This actually first premiered at the München Fantasy Film Fest on August 1st, 2000. It's the Canucksploitation horror film Ginger Snaps, directed by John Fawcett. Fantastic movie. You know, this pretty much played festivals through 2000. It didn't really get a theatrical release very much anywhere. A little bit through the 2001, you know? Not a whole lot, though.
Yeah. This movie was fire when it came out. Everybody was, looking, trying to find a place to watch this. I guess it was like a year to 2 year span when the news broke out about this movie and everybody started buzzing about it before you could finally get a copy in the U.S. and watch the damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it played the 2000s through a lot of different film festivals, and that's kind of where the buzz came from.
Huge buzz, man.
Huge buzz. And then, I want to say it was, like you said, it was like late 2001, almost 2002 before you could actually get a disc for it. It was like November, December 2001, well, almost a year. So people heard about this, and then
everybody
nobody
was
could
looking
get it.
for it.
Yeah. So DVD premiere was October 23rd, 2001 in the U.S., and at that point, it had been playing at festivals over a year. So everybody heard about this, and it was one of those that it hit a lot of film festivals, and you couldn't get tickets to it. And I remember, though, at this time, that the DVD actually came out somewhere in Europe. It was like Italy or Greece. It came out like late 2000s. And I remember I ordered one back then from Italy or Greece, and I was able to watch it. That's how I got it.
I was trying to buy one from Puerto Rico because it was out in Puerto Rico on DVD, but they have some weird copyright laws over there. Like anything that's made for Puerto Rico, they only get the Puerto Rican rights, and they weren't allowed to sell this anywhere. No, it was the Philippines. I'm sorry. It was the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Dude, it was super tough. I tried for the longest to get a copy out of the Philippines. I never could figure out a way.
I remember I got one out of, it was either Italy or Greece, and it was a legit release. And
I finally ordered the Canadian release, I think, when it came out.
It took me like 4 months, I remember, to get it in, but I still got it like 6 months before it hit U.S. And I remember having watch parties of it at my house because everybody wanted to see it, who I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, come over, we'll watch it. It was a big thing that summer because I had it during that summer of 2001, and everybody wanted to see it. It was a great movie. It's
definitely one of the best werewolf films to come along in a long time when it came out.
In a long time.
And it featured two, flawed young ladies as the leads. So it was ahead of its time.
Catherine Isabel, too. I love Catherine Isabel.
Yeah.
She's so great.
I love Emily Perkins, too. I love them both in these roles.
Yeah. I think they're both really good. And, they're both great actresses. Really are great actresses. And, they both had really good careers. Emily Perkins was, she was on and off Supernatural and a bunch of other stuff. But Catherine Isabel has been on so many things. And I remember she popped up in Bad Times at El Royale, and I was so excited. I was like, oh, my God, it's her. I was like, I love her.
Yeah. She was on the Silence of the Lambs TV show. What was that?
Oh, Hannibal.
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 Yeah. So,
Neville. She's on a show called The Order too. I mean, she's a great actress. I love her.
yep.
Always have.
And apparently, I guess that's why we've been trying forever to get her at our convention, and I guess that's why, because she's always busy.
She's always working. She's a
Yep.
busy girl.
But we do have Emily Perkins booked for the next show, so it'll be nice to see her there. And who knows, maybe we can get Catherine Isabel. No promises, but I'll try again.
Get Mimi Rogers too. Bring her in.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
bring in Mimi Rogers. Hell, she'll probably do it. She doesn't do anything anymore. She's
Yeah.
just hanging out.
Well,
But Ginger Snaps, though, great movie. One of the examples of the resurgence of Canucksploitation films was this movie and Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter came out about this time, and they were the resurgence of Canucksploitation, and this is a really, really, really fun movie. And if you haven't seen Ginger Snaps, I'd really recommend getting it. I mean, there's a really fantastic Shout Factory Blu-ray, but super readily available. Shudder has it showing, and I looked, and Roku and Vudu both have it free with ads if you want to watch it. So it's super readily available out there now. Not like 20 years ago when me and Lloyd tried to find it.
right.
You know, hustled movies from the Philippines.
The
and
Philippines,
Italy.
yeah. Well, I love this movie, and I like it all. You know, all three of these movies is what I was going to say. And they were all really good. Super
I'm trying to remember the first time I saw Catherine Isabel. Wasn't she on an episode of Goosebumps like back in the day? I remember her being young. I think she was on Goosebumps. I'm gonna say that.
I don't know. I know
I'm
Emily
gonna go with Goosebumps.
You know, Emily was the was in It 1990. You know that. So
Yeah. Emily was in that, and she was also in an episode of The X-Files, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure. But anyway, Ginger Snaps, recommended and easily accessible. Like Charles said, you can go and watch them right now
Here's Winterfell.
for free.
Hey,
So,
Travis said Catherine wasn't in Goosebumps. I'm going to say she was in Goosebumps, Travis. I'm going to look it up.
He just
'cause I have
wants
this in my head.
he just wants her to have been in that. All right.
I'm going to look it up. Hold on.
So
Let's
go-
look it up.
Go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start the next movie.
Do it.
When the leader of a team of scientists volunteers to be the test subject for their experiment in human invisibility, he slowly unravels and turns against them with horrific consequences. Released August 4th, 2000. It's the American-German sci-fi slasher film Hollow Man, directed by Paul Verhoeven and starring Kevin Bacon, Elizabeth Shue, and Josh Brolin. El Hombre Sin Sombra.
Catherine Isabel was in 1996 episode of Goosebumps called It Came From Beneath the Sink.
Boom, Travis. You owe Charles
me-
a bottle of that moonshine he's drinking.
Moonshine. Yeah, so this poster for Hollow Man, I absolutely love. It's the best poster by far. This was the Spanish poster, and it's so creepy. I love this poster. Such a great, great shot. And I love this movie. I think this is a fantastically well done take on The Invisible Man. It really is.
I remember enjoying it too. I saw it probably when it came out on video, and enjoyed it. I've always been a Kevin Bacon fan, though. I like his acting. You know, I like a lot of the stuff that he's done. But I did enjoy this movie quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a great movie, and the special effects in it are so fantastic, and they hold up to this day, the visual effects. I rewatched this maybe 6 months ago. It still holds up. It is very early use of three-dimensional digital models, and my God, it looks fantastic. And even now, when you watch the Blu-ray release of it, so good, and has a score by Jerry Goldsmith in it. Really great score. And Paul Verhoeven is one of my favorite directors, even though he did Showgirls, but he did do RoboCop, he did do Total Recall, he did do Starship Troopers, and he did Hollow Man.
So he gets a pass.
He gets a pass, even though Showgirls has been released in 4K overseas, We didn't get the 4K Showgirls here for some reason.
I just
I'm
ordered
not
it
saying that
overseas, bruh.
I'm not saying that I already ordered it, and I have it. But you know what?
Okay, there you go.
I just work here. Yeah, you know what? And this was not a. I remember Paul Verhoeven was not a big fan of the final outcome of Hollow Man, and I actually thought it was really, really well done. It's a rated R movie, and I think it's super good. That's the best I can say about it. It was shot really well. The story is actually a pretty good story. There's not a lot you can do with a story about an invisible man. You know, he's invisible. He does some shit, you know? It's just
he gets
how
in
it
some
is.
trouble.
There's a horrible scene where he's invisible and he like sexually assaults a woman. It's like some like deep dark shit. They probably wouldn't be in a movie nowadays. I'm like, you wouldn't have that.
So I've seen this one, but I never saw the sequel with Christian Slater.
Don't.
Okay.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Gotcha.
Nope, it's gone. Doesn't exist.
I've heard bad things, but you never know. You got to ask somebody you trust, right?
God, yeah. Christian Slater and Peter Fasinelli was in that one. I watched it. Yeah, I was so bad that I think I lost all my hair, and that's why I look like this now.
All right, so we won't go there. I'm going to put the poster up one more time for anybody that didn't get to see it.
Yeah, you know, movie was good, super successful. It cost $100 million to make, and $50 million of that budget was all for special effects. So that tells you how crazy the special effects were in this movie. It was nominated for an Oscar for effects, lost to Gladiator, but you know, it was a fun movie. You know, Paul Verhoeven makes some controversial films, like Starship Troopers was super controversial at the time, and you know, Paul Verhoeven also he shot this one in chronological order, which is weird, but they had to do that for the way that the effects were being worked. Like they had to do it chronological, that way they could have the effects done for a shot before they moved to like another shot. So it was a weird way they were shooting it. So super weird, yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going to put this one on my watch again list soon. It's going to go right up to the top of the heap.
Yeah, it's the only way you can get it on Blu-ray is there's a Mill Creek. You know, we love Mill Creek, and Mill Creek has the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon Blu-ray collection for $17.99 that has this movie on it. That's the only way you can get it on Blu-ray, which sucks. But that Blu-ray also has Flatliners on it, which is a great movie. So it has 2 good movies. The other 4 movies on there, I don't remember them, and they're really horrible. That's all I know. So at least you get Flatliners and Hollow Man for $17.99.
That's not a bad deal.
Nah, not a bad deal at all. It's streaming on Hulu, and it looks like it was a $4 rental on Apple TV and Amazon too.
Perfect. All right, next one up is one that I really like.
Heck yeah, dude! I put this one on there. I knew I was gonna put this on there just for Lloyd too, even before I did this year. I was like, this is Lloyd's movie. Lloyd lives his life. No, this is a great movie though.
It is a great.
This is the real story of the man who dug up the corpses of over a dozen women and made things out of their remains. No, it's not the story of Lloyd Cryer, before you guys ask. All right. This actually first premiered at the Sitges Film Festival, October 2000. It's the American horror film Ed Gein, directed by Chuck Palahniuk, also known as Light of the Moon, and featuring Steve Railsback in it.
Steve Railsback, Dallas-born actor, who I admire a lot for his role in as Charlie Manson in what was that called? Was it just called Manson? I think was the name of that movie. But
The one with Railsback?
Yeah, Railsback.
It was Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter. So
Yeah.
Steve was a guest at our show a few years ago, and every time I got close to him and talked to him and looked in his eyes, all I could see was Charles Manson's eyes from that movie.
You're like, no,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
And Steve's he was a super nice guy. He was a quiet guy, but he would chat,
Yeah.
but he didn't say a whole lot. You know, he was just a quiet person. Super nice though, super nice.
You know, he's a guy that, you know, has done a lot of fun stuff, but has never really, you know, a lot of people who don't know him. I guess I could say that, even though all the stuff he's done. And between this and Helter Skelter and Life Force, I've always been a big fan of his.
Me too. But the movie Ed Gein from 2000, it's really a well done movie. It seems it's very, very similar to the Ezra Cobb movie, Deranged.
Oh yeah.
Deranged. But that's just because they cover basically the same incidences that everybody already knows about. Of course, Ed Gein was the inspiration or partial inspiration for several horror movie characters like Leatherface, Norman Bates, and Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. So he was the real life guy.
Buffalo Bill here.
Yep. He was the real life guy that really dug up bodies. Mainly dug up bodies. He only killed 2 people. And I say only because he wasn't really a serial killer, I guess. I don't know if you could classify him as that, but most of the weird stuff he did was from bodies that he dug up from graves, like his mother and other people. He made lamps and belts, and he made a skin suit out of them. So creepy real life stuff here.
Turn it off.
I don't have it playing.
Thank God. Oh, thank God, it's over. It's over.
Let's see.
Hurt my insides.
All right, here's the trailer. This is a good movie.
It'd be a lot better with Goodbye Horses playing on the trailer. That should be on.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Let's.
Are you watching it?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm fixing it myself.
You turned it off.
It's a great movie, though.
Yeah.
It is time for you to do the Lord's work. Are you ready, Edward?
This movie was part of 3 films that were produced about serial killers. I want to say one of them was a Bundy movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I knew one of the producers on this. He was with Anthem Films at the time. I'm trying to remember. Chuck Adelman was the guy.
Yeah. Oh, I know they made a Dahmer movie in 2002. I know that. Mm-hmm. When they made a Gacy movie at one point.
Yes.
That was 2003, I believe.
So, it must have been Dahmer, Ed Gein, and Gacy were the 3 films made by these producers. And they're all pretty good films.
Yeah, I mean, they're all fun films. Ed Gein is, it's actually really well made. If you look, I think it's called, most of the DVDs say Ed Gein, and I think if you try to look at it streaming, it's called In the Light of the Moon. It's just how you find them. But, yeah. I'm not super familiar with Chuck Perrell, though, who directed this. Off the top of my head, I don't know who he is or what else he did, if he did anything. So, but Steve Rosebach is Really, really, really good in this movie. He really captures that role. And Steve Rosenbeck is a very underappreciated actor. He really gets into these parts, and he's a little too creepy.
I knew there was a connection to Henry. What he directed, I went and looked it up. He also directed Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer Part 2, which I actually liked that one.
I didn't like the guy that played Henry in that. What's his name?
Yeah,
Neil something?
it was a little weird, but I think I heard that this movie, the Part 2, was a little closer to reality. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look what I've read about it, but
yeah,
I did like Part 2. I thought it was a fun movie.
Well, yeah, maybe I'll try to check it out again. I know Part 2 is on Prime Video because I scrolled past and I saw it not too long ago. Yeah, but what are you gonna say? I mean, I would say that Ed Gein is a fun watch. It's only on DVD. It's not streaming. Never released on Blu-ray. I have a feeling it's one of those movies we probably won't ever see on Blu-ray either, which sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I do recommend searching this one out. It's a fun movie if you want to learn more about Ed Gein. From what I understand, it's pretty accurate to real life.
God, and this is a great movie. We'll talk about it. Also, nearly impossible to find. Wish it wasn't.
Okay, so a real estate agent terrifies a couple with the grim fates of the previous owners of a house they're looking at. Released October 18th, 2000. It's the American dark comedy horror anthology film Terror Tract, directed by Lance W. Dreesen and Clint Hutchison, and starring Jack Ritter. You want me to go ahead and play the trailer on this one?
John Ritter, Lloyd, not Jack Ritter.
Did I say Jack Ritter?
You said Jack Ritter. I'm like,
Jack Ritter.
His brother?
He was
Yeah,
Jack
go ahead and play the
from Three's Company.
Jack. Where have you been?
Okay, so here it goes. We're gonna play this one.
This is a fun anthology series, actually, anthology movie. I've seen this, and I only was able to see this because I happened to come across it on playing on USA one day on TV.
Okay.
It's not streaming. Never been released on Blu-ray. Never been released on DVD. Never been released on VHS. Never released to a streaming service to purchase. It's so weird. This movie is like not anywhere, and it's actually a really well-made, fun movie. It's not that scary, but it plays a lot like Tales from the Dark Side, like these anthologies. And
Well, I would love that.
John Ritter is so great in this. John Ritter is so fantastic, and I wish this was somewhere easier to watch. It's not, and it's a great movie. It's an excellent film.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It looks good. I watched the trailer when you sent it over. And I was surprised I'd never even heard of this one.
Yeah, and I find a lot of people, and I'd heard about this for a while, and I didn't see it until maybe 10 years ago, because it was playing on USA on cable, and I was like, "Is that the movie I heard about?" And it was on, like 11 o'clock at night, Terror Track, and I was like, so I don't know who owns the rights to this.
Well, thanks a lot, Charles. You have turned me on to another movie that I will never be able to see.
You're like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well,
I'm good with that for some reason. I don't know what it is. I keep finding. I like these movies that I'm like, that doesn't exist, and it actually surprised me because I was like, well, that's got to be somewhere now where we can watch it. And I went to look, and I was like, nope, it's nowhere.
Awesome. Well, I do love the hunt, though. I kid with you, but I do love hunting down hard to find films, and when you find them, it's very fulfilling.
Yeah. I'm going to say, if somebody owns the rights to this, just give me the damn rights to it, and I'm going to release it for you, all right? I'm going to release it.
There you go. We're putting it out. We're doing it.
We're putting it out. But the thing is I joke, but this was released on VHS in Mexico. So if you want one, You can find a Mexican VHS. It was released there. Wasn't released in the U.S. though. I believe there was an upscale Japanese DVD release that's been out of print for like 20 years. And you're not going to find those either. If you do, let me know because I'll go in with you. We'll buy it. We'll share it.
There you go. There's a bunch of people giving us tips on where to find it online. Hey man, I'll go and I'll find it and I'll watch it, but I would love to see, movies like this
An actual release.
Get an actual release, yeah.
Yeah. I want this on a double feature Blu-ray with Stay Tuned. That's what I want.
That would be perfect, actually.
It would. It would be.
All right. Last one on our list tonight, guys, and then honorable mentions after that.
The next one is such a phenomenal movie that there's no way I could miss it for you guys, all right? Because so many people tell me that the next one is their favorite horror film out of the 2000s, and one of the true examples of a sequel being better than the original, all right? And those are Lloyd's words, too, the last words, because Lloyd has the
I don't
logo
think I
for
said
this movie.
that.
Oh, you did? I thought you did.
I don't think I did.
Oh,
Nope.
crap. Well,
Got
let's
your
talk
sources
about it.
mixed up, Mr. Charles.
a group of tourists arrived to a Maryland town to explore the mythology and phenomenon around a recent film. Only they come face to face with their own neuroses.
Neuroses.
This was released October 27, 2000, because for the love of God, they had to make a sequel. It's the American psychological horror film Book of Shadows, The Blair Witch 2, written and directed by Joe Berlinger, a film that absolutely should never have existed.
Charles,
so bad.
I haven't seen this since it came out on videotape. And all I remember is just not knowing what the fuck was going on through most of the movie.
When this came out, I worked at the movie theater when this came out. And all of us who worked in the movie theater were so excited because there was this poster. And we had this poster. And the trailer actually looked kind of fun. And we were like, oh my God, this is going to be so cool. So we watched it. We spooled up the 35 millimeter at like 12:04 a.m., like 6 days before it came out. We watched this movie, and all of us were like, what the fuck just happened to our lives? Like, what is this that we just watched? Nobody could figure it out. They're like, why, where, and how, and what is going on here? And this is a movie that has boggled my mind on its badness that I've rewatched at least 10 times, this movie. I've rewatched it.
It makes me want to rewatch it because all I can remember is, like I said, being confused throughout the movie.
And the movie, it makes no sense. The only saving fact I'll give you in this is the people in it are actually pretty good actors. The cast is pretty good. It's like having to pick up a piece of dog shit without a bag. You're still gonna pick it up, but you gotta get that shit on your hands. You just gotta work with it. That's what they did in this movie. So bad. And I remember I remember people coming out of this movie, the theater, going, "What was that about?"
There was so much backlash over this movie.
Yeah.
This is one of the earlier films that I remember. The backlash was especially the internet backlash was just incredible.
Kristen Gillis says, Charles, why did you do this to us? We had to talk about this. It's so bad. It had to happen. I'm sorry. Yeah, like Charles Anderson said, the score is by Carter Burrell. Carter Burrell's a fantastic composer. I don't know how they got him in here, but really, guys, what happened with this movie is Blair Witch Project made a crap ton of money, and well, guess what? There had to be a sequel, and Artisan Entertainment, who was one half of the Blair Witch ownership, basically, Hexen Entertainment never wanted to make a sequel to it at the time. Artisan owned enough of the rights to make their own sequel while kind of skipping over some copyright things. And they brought out this movie that it didn't matter what they brought out. This movie was going to make money. And this movie made its money back. It made a shit ton of money because it said Blair Witch on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it made no sense. It's so weird.
Yeah.
So bad.
Well, I don't remember particulars about this movie, so that's why I do want to go back and watch it. I know it's going to be torturous, but I want to go back and I want to see this again because I took nothing away from it the first time.
And I wasn't even joking when I said I've rewatched this like 10 times. I have rewatched this, and I've forced myself to go through this about every couple of years because I make myself do that with movies. I don't care if they're bad, I'll rewatch them just to get more information from it for myself. And my God, this one. And it's exactly like people are saying, it's what happens when the studio needs a sequel and they don't care what's going to happen to it, you know?
Yeah.
The screenplay on this literally this is written by the director, and he tried to say that, I did all this work to try to make this nice, fun story. I'm like, it looks like you were just like drunk and were like, I know the Blair Witch is going to come, but you're not going to see the Blair Witch because you're going to have kids, and the kids are going to become the witch, but at the same time, they're not the witch. And then there's going to be a guy, and there'll be a police officer and some dogs that don't exist. They're going to bark.
And where's the cocaine?
There's all kinds of and Stephen King pops up and go, it's going to scare the hell out of you. That's how they sold it. Blair Witch, dude. They're like, here's $15 million. Can you make this for us in 7 days? I can make it for you in 4 days. I need $12 million and $3 million worth of cocaine. Stephen King's like, yeah, we're going to scare the hell out of you. They're like, Stephen King, you're not even associated with this movie. I don't care. There's cocaine.
Is there cocaine? Then I'm in.
I'm in.
There's one movie that I don't know if you got on honorable mention or not. That I hope it's on there because I didn't get to watch the whole thing.
Maybe not.
Cherry Falls.
It's on there.
Okay, good. So let's go into the honorable
Cherry
mention.
Falls is a great movie. And I wanted it on the list, but we were running kind of long, so
yeah. So let's go to honorable mention and see what we didn't mention, but that we are mentioning now. Boom. Words.
Boom. Words. 2000, the year in horror. Honorable mentions time.
Okay, Movie Vision.
Welcome to Movie Vision.
Feature presentation.
I don't know where I find half the shit I put on.
Straight for illegalists. Those found will be billed for receiving our programming. Those who do not pay will be subject to a suit for
Franco Potente, no Firman. Anatomy.
Oh, Anatomy. That's a good movie, man.
Some of them.
Chrissy Gillian said, "Why did you slap Blair Witch Cherry Falls?" Because Blair Witch Project 2 is not an honorable mention. It's a horrible movie that we have to discuss.
Exactly. Anatomy, though, was a good movie. A German flick, right? Wasn't it?
That's a German flick. That's a great movie.
It is good.
Actually, I think almost every movie on our honorable mentions list could have been on our normal list too, which just ran long. Because even like Bless the Child is a fantastic movie.
It is a good movie.
There's Cherry Falls.
Okay, yeah. The bummer about this is there's so much that was cut from the movie that they still haven't been able to find all the cut scenes from this film.
Everybody wants to talk about Cherry Falls. When we get done with honorable mentions, let's talk about some more about Cherry Falls. All right.
Bonus
Time. We're gonna talk about Cherry Falls. I like Cherry Falls too.
I do love Cherry Falls. Leprechaun. Is this Back to the Hood?
Leprechaun. This is In the Hood.
This is In the Hood.
In the Hood.
Yeah.
If you love Leprechaun's rapping, your life's about to be complete because he's about to rap.
And Ice-T is in it.
I'm the Leprechaun, fool. You know my goal. I'm gonna take you until you sold.
He's
you better
rapping.
go down until you cold, cause I'm a Leprechaun. Give me my gold. Ooh.
We don't go down without a fight. Right?
Leprechaun 5.
This is a movie where you're like, why does this exist?
But I'm glad that it does.
But I'm glad it does, yeah.
Really?
Oh, good old Hollywood Video.
At other video stores, you only
This
get one
doesn't
day
even
on
have a
release, so you
stereo.
can't enjoy it because you're too worried about getting it back on time. And then
Sam.
you have to fly out the door in order to get to the video
This is
store
so
before it
old.
closes, and the clock is ticking, the phone is ringing, the ladies are piling
I
up.
think
so
this dude's on meth.
He's really into special effects.
He's
Only
really a
Hollywood
meth
Video
head.
has Star Wars The Phantom Menace for 5 days, so you can watch it again and again. Welcome to Hollywood. Hollywood Video.
All right, here we go. What's this?
This is a movie called Lost Soul.
Lost Soul?
Yeah.
I think I've seen this.
It's not bad. It's kind of a precursor to a lot of movies that followed this type of religious horror after this.
Yeah. Well, you had Stigmata the year before, right?
Yeah, Stigmata this, and then it became super big and popular.
Mm-hmm. And then they set the Pope on fire in this scene.
Oh, this is a great movie. This is one that I wanted on the list. I really
Charles,
wanted on the list.
I love this movie.
Yeah, this is a fun. I told you the honorable mentions are fantastic this year. They're great movies. This is probably, and it's not on our list, this is probably my second favorite movie out of year 2000. So
I gotta agree with you. This one, I think this movie made a huge impression. You got, in this one, you had Bill Moseley and Coolio in a scene together, right? Wasn't that Bill Moseley and Coolio? Anyway, let's go to the next one. We'll talk.
Sorry, you cut. Yeah, we'll pull it a sec. Yeah, but it is Bill Moseley and Coolio. They're both officers. They're both cops.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I told you our honorable mentions are great because even this is a movie called Supernova. This is even good.
That is a good movie. I've seen that.
I told you.
Supernova.
And even this one isn't bad. Dracula 2000.
You know, I've heard good things about that one, but I've never seen it.
Yep. Travis, Supernova is kind of a horror movie. It's kind of the same level as like Event Horizon almost.
The Disney Channel.
They're back.
TMNT3.
What's coming on though? I don't know.
Double Impact.
Let's watch it.
I don't see the adult channel on there.
Oh, it's on there.
All right, and we're back.
All right, guys.
Here's the bonus part.
Cherry Falls.
We're going to talk about Cherry
Cherry
Falls. Let's do it, Charles.
I love Cherry Falls. You know, Cherry Falls is a movie. It came out in the 2000s. I don't remember when, but I know it played a lot of film festivals in the 2000s. Cherry Falls did. Really, really well-made movie. Directed by a guy named Jeffrey Wright and had Brittany Murphy in it. And I like Cherry Falls. I would love to have Cherry Falls on our normal list. Cherry Falls, I know, didn't actually ever come out to theaters in the U.S. It debuted on television in the U.S. I know that. It was a television release. It was released in theaters, I believe, in Asia and the U.K., I think it was. And that was it. So, for those not familiar with Cherry Falls, basically in the small town of Cherry Falls, a psychotic murderer is killing off the versions of the local high school. Looks like it was released first, July 29th, at the Muchen Fantasy Film Festival, the same film festival we talked about earlier. Debuted there. Directed by Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright is a pretty well-known director. He did not a lot of movies, but a really fantastic movie Jeffrey Wright did is a movie called Romper Stomper with a very young Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, it's like a very early American History X, but more better done.
Right.
Cherry Falls, though, well shot. Go ahead, Lloyd. What do you think of Cherry Falls?
I love Cherry Falls. It was one of those hidden gems even back then. A lot of people discovered that, through, like you said, I think there was a lot of discovery through film festivals or just word of mouth. Movie is great. Could have been stellar if they could find all of the cut elements from this film that have been talked about for so many years, but that stuff is long gone from what I've heard. Before we go on, I want to address something. These lists are not all inclusive. We always say that. They're not all inclusive. We get as many movies on here that we can within a reasonable amount of time. Not everything is going to make it on the main list, but That's just the way it is. The honorable mentions doesn't mean, it's an okay movie. It just means here's something we didn't have time to cover. So there you go.
Yeah, sometimes some of the honorable mentions are better than what's on the normal list. Just because there's movies on the normal list that we have to talk about. Like, I mean, I would have dropped Scream 3 and put Cherry Falls and The Covenant on there. But if you don't put Scream 3 on there, Scream 3 is something that's like a big movie you have to talk about.
Oh, it's iconic. So you have to mention Scream 3. You're absolutely right, Charles. But Cherry Falls is a great movie. You can get it, like you said, the Scream Factory Blu-ray, but it's cut, and that's probably the only way you're ever going to see it. It doesn't look good for finding the lost materials.
David Dugas asked he said we missed Urban Legend's final cut. David, I didn't miss it. I just didn't put it on there, David. I'm sorry. I know it's there.
And we've talked about it before in the past, so.
Yeah. And the other one that was on there that me and Lloyd both love is The Convent, and that is a great movie. That's I think that's streaming on Prime Video right now. If you haven't seen that, watch it. For the scene Lloyd said about with Coolio and Bill Moseley.
Yeah.
You know.
This is a great movie. The Convent feels a lot like Night of the Demons. It feels like kind of a throwback to that, but there's a lot more going on. You know, like I said, there's even a cameo with Bill Moseley and Coolio as cops in the movie.
And Adrian Barbeau's in it too, if I remember correctly.
Adrian Barbeau is in it. The Convent is one that I can't recommend highly enough. So get out there and check that out. Unfortunately, I thought that guy was on to bigger and better things, but I can't think of a lot that I've liked that he's done that he did after that.
The director?
Mm-hmm.
I know he did Big Ass Spider like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. I tried to watch one. One of his was one of those After Dark horror movies. And what was his name? Mike Mendez. I thought he was going to be one of the future horror director guys. And I can't think of a whole lot. Yeah, there was Big Ass Spider. There was Lava Lantula. So, he's working. I'm glad to hear that. But he did the Critters Attack TV movie. Apparently, he was an editor. If I brought out movies,
it would probably be like Lava Lantula and Big Ass Spider. Those would be my movies.
Yeah,
but it would be Big Ass Spider in Space Part 4. That would be my movie.
The other movie that Mike Mendez did, though, it was his first feature film. It's called The Convent. I mean, not The Convent, Killers. And if you can find a copy of The Killers, I want to say it's streaming on Amazon. That's a fantastic movie as well that you got to check out.
Oh, Killers. Yeah, I know Killers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's another... They killed their parents or something, didn't they, in that movie? I remember something like that.
It's got like a... the vibe of... What is that movie? People Under the Stairs. It's kind of got some of that kind of stuff going on. You remember that?
Oh, shit. I haven't... I watched this, but I want to say I watched this like late 90s.
Oh, yeah. You got to go back and watch this again. If I'm not mistaken, it was streaming on Prime not too long ago, so go check it out. It's called Killers, directed by Mike Mendez.
Amazon needs to support us because we're always talking to Prime up here.
We are. We'll get them on board one day. All right. So that is it.
I got the yawns. It's from all that dancing.
You do. So that's it, Charles. We've covered the first year in the first decade of the 2000s. So next Wednesday is going to be 2001. I did want to point out, though, that this Saturday, I want to make this announcement, Charles.
Oh.
So Saturday at 2 p.m., we'll be talking to filmmaker Garrett Hargrove. Garrett is a Texas filmmaker, and he wrote some really good stuff. He's done some movies. He's responsible for Fun with Hackley, and I think it might be
Fun with Hackley.
Yeah, I think it might be under another name or something, but since it got released,
yeah, cool.
But everybody look up
Texas filmmakers.
Everybody look up Garrett Hargrove. That's his name. There's a movie called Hackley. It was originally called Fun with Hackley, so you can check him out there. And
yeah,
then,
I think it's Axe Murdering with Hackley, something like that.
Mm-hmm. So then, Sunday night, Charles, tell us what we got going on Sunday night.
Saturday
night, I'm sorry.
Saturday night we got a Prime watch party again.
And?
Right? Oh, our new friend is going to be hosting with us. What's our new friend's name?
Hani. Apparently.
Hani.
And what did she choose, Charles?
So if you guys were on our Twitch Prime watch party last week, Hani joined Richard because Richard was our host. Well, Hani was there with him, and Hani enjoyed our Twitch Prime watch party so much that she was like, "I want to do my own Twitch Prime watch party." So she's going to do one, and we're going to watch the original The Fog. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Awesome. That's going to be fun.
Which is one of my favorite movies. Yeah.
I haven't seen The Fog in a while, so I'll gladly revisit
You know,
that
I haven't either. It's been a few years since I've seen The Fog.
Is that right?
Yeah, kind of weird is I tend to watch all of John Carpenter's movies like all the time for some reason but The Fog. And I love The Fog, but I don't know why I don't ever watch it in my rotation. I watch They Live, Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, Halloween, and I watch those like in succession. Even In the Mouth of Madness, it's just always going.
Yeah. So everybody just remember to tune in Saturday at 2 p.m. for our Garrett Hargrove show. And then that night at 7 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be watching The Fog with our new viewer, Hani, that Richard Nettleton introduced us to. How's that sound, guys? Everybody excited?
Yeah. And then I think maybe we can plan for the 24th, which is Sunday, to do our Patreon show.
Shouldn't be a problem. Should not be a problem.
Go away. We can have everybody pick our director. So I'll throw up a poll on our Patreon page. Everybody can choose our director, and we'll shoot for the 24th. And
don't tune out yet, because Charles has got a giveaway.
I got this.
Right?
Yeah. This right here. And also I was going to say our Patreons, if you're a Patreon and you like vinyl records, I'm going to do a giveaway for the Frankenhooker soundtrack on vinyl.
Nice.
But I'm going to do a poll too on because some people like vinyl, some people don't. So if you're a Patreon and you like vinyl, I'm going to do a poll on our Patreon. And if you want a chance to win it, then I'm going to grab everybody from there and just pick one. So
Awesome.
So
for people that don't know, they can visit us.
Giveaway.
Yeah, you can go to Patreon and find us, Frightmare HQ. We have levels. What is it? I can't remember the levels. $3, $7, $9, I think, Charles.
Yeah.
And you get exclusive content and exclusive giveaways that we only give away to people on Patreon and the people that support us at the $7 or $9 level.
Yeah. That's true.
It's fun. And it's cheap.
Well, it is cheap. So I'm going to do that giveaway. And then we'll still have our Patreon mystery box that we give away every month on our show.
Exactly.
I've already got that box put together. It's somewhere over here with all these VHS tapes. Somewhere over there. There it is. I see it.
Oh,
there's some cool stuff in there this month.
Hendershot said he's joining Patreon right now. Love vinyl and love Frankenhooker. All right. So we got that.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you for joining, Hendershot. Anybody else that wants to join us, we're just going to keep growing that. There's going to be even more content as we go. So join us on Patreon. It's a really good way to support the show, and it helps us out a lot. It helps us pay for a lot of the expenses that we have with running this show.
Yeah, it does. We appreciate that. Yeah, we're definitely going to be growing the Patreon a lot more this year. I've already been looking at ways that we can maybe do things more more content just for our Patreon peeps, because there's a lot of one-off shows I'd love to do on specific content that we can always do on Patreon for Patreon peeps, because I like to hear myself talk. So what are you gonna do?
And there's several people that are watching tonight said they've already joined, and that's cool. We thank you. We very much appreciate that. Charles Anderson said it's his best investment ever, Patreon. So Thank you, Charles
Heck
Anderson,
yeah.
for that as well. You could probably ask some of the people that have won some prizes. We give out prizes that are worth much more than that $9 entry every month. So that's a good reason to
I mean,
get
my
on board.
mystery. Yeah, I mean, the mystery box we give away is worth a lot more than that. $9.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's enough.
That box is always great. So thank you all very much. Let's see. Richard says
Now,
tonight he's going to be answering for Hani. She would win if they answer it correctly. Okay, I guess we can do that.
This is a good Blu-ray that we're giving away. The Gorgon is actually one of my favorite Hammer flicks. I love The Gorgon. It's a great movie. So,
Travis
it's a
Brown
double
says,
feature,
I
though.
will support Frightmare forever. Thank you, Travis. That means a lot to us. It really does.
It does, Travis. We love Travis here.
Okay,
Travis
so
is
let's
one of my favorite peeps.
let's give something away. Let's give it away, Charles. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got? What kind of question we got?
Let's
Thank you,
see.
Todd Lewis. Appreciate that.
What'd you call me?
I was
You can't
talking
call me
to
Todd Lewis.
I was talking to Todd. Sorry.
I was like, there's only one Todd out there. I don't want to compete with Todd. You got a trivia question,
you,
Lloyd. Throw a
Christy.
trivia question out there, Lloyd.
What
do you feel like?
Okay, so thank you to Chrissy also. Trivia
Chrissy.
question.
And David Dugas.
What Hammer horror film star also appeared in Star Wars and A Clockwork Orange?
Ooh.
So the question is, what Hammer horror star also appeared in A Clockwork Orange and the Star Wars, the original Star Wars?
Pseudo Kier.
There's two possible answers. No, there's only one possible answer, and Striker87 got that one.
He did.
The answer is Dave Prowse. Dave Prowse. Peter Cushing, as far as I know, was not
Well, he had
in
Clockwork.
A Clockwork Orange.
You know, he was not.
But good guess.
Probably should
Good
have.
guess.
It was a good guess, though. It was a good guess.
Striker, congratulations. You won a copy of
The Gorgon and the Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll. A double feature that'll make your hair fall out because it's so amazing. You'll end up looking like me.
There you go. Boom. That's awesome. So, let's see.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Stryker needs to just send us the address to send this.
Yeah, Striker, get us that.
Because if you don't send me the address, I don't know where to go with it. And then I end up losing it. If you can send it over on Facebook to the Frightmare HQ Facebook page. I know we've got a lot of Facebook pages. Frightmare HQ is the easiest one. That's where all this stuff falls through. And I'll send this to you, and I'll put in a nudie photo of me and Lloyd in the shower. So I've only got two of those photos. So put it in there with it.
Only two that we've approved. The rest
That
are
we've approved, you know.
of Charles and I being very intimate.
Yeah. You know, we had a special
We'll
photo
give those
shoot that
away
was
to the
done.
Patreon, folks.
To the Patreon. You know, I'll put our faces on a bunch of really strange softcore porn photos and send them out to people who'll be like,
Exactly.
hey, welcome. Well,
right.
that's it for tonight, guys. You know, we'll be back on Saturday. We'll have our double feature on Saturday. Double time. Double feature.
Double feature Saturday. So, you guys, that's going to do it for tonight. There was something I was going to mention. Travis Brown said we should talk about Herschel Gordon Lewis on the next Patreon. So if you want to talk about Herschel, is that going to be one of your, is it multiple choice, Charles, or how do you get people to vote on that?
I do a poll and I put 3 directors up.
Okay.
And they can choose their 3. They can only choose one answer. But I'll put Herschel Gordon Lewis on there. Why not?
I wouldn't mind talking about Herschel.
I can do that. We'll see what everybody chooses.
Okie dokie. Well, that is going to wrap up the show for the night. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming and watching, spending some time on the Frightmare HQ channel. We appreciate it. Striker
We
87.
always do.
Striker 87 says we should start an OnlyFans. We'll give that some thought. Maybe that's where we'll put the shower photos. But
I already got one. Travis is on there. This is
right.
what I do for 20. I do this for 20 to 40 minutes at a time.
It's about as long as Charles can last before he runs out of breath. All right, everybody. I want to say thank you very much for joining us here at Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer, and I was here tonight with...
It's Carlos Blueberry, the one and only Goodbye Horseman.
All right, guys. Everybody have a good night. Peace out. We love you, and we'll see you again soon.
Love everybody.